Hey everybody, Mr. Piano Tech here. Today I'm going to show you what's in my bag. Okay, so this is the bag that I use on a daily basis. It's a Vito Pro Pack. It's the Tech Pack LT. It's been very durable. It's worked really well for me. There's a couple little issues I've had with it, but not many issues. I'll do a separate video specifically just on that. And anyway, so I always keep a little LED mag light on the side right here. I don't really use these front pouches for anything, maybe occasionally, but rarely. So open up the front here. So it has a little pack right here where I keep a lot of repair tools and parts for replacing hammer shanks and that sort of thing. But all the little smaller miscellaneous stuff I'll keep in there. This little zipper, keep a little soft rag, just do final wipe down on pianos. And then on the main compartment here, this is the bag I use to keep my tuning lever in. I'll open that up in just a minute. And then mask that we all have to carry around nowadays. And a hammer rest for hammer reshaping, voicing, that sort of thing. And then some regulation screwdrivers in here. That's the one for drop. There's a few others back in there. But a bit driver I use to install dehumidifier systems on the damp chasers. That's the size screw head they give you with those. And screw starter. I'd say pretty much a necessity when trying to start a screw on a flange and an upright. I'm sure you know my pain. Okay, so here's also little pliers there for taking off the heads of hammers with a little bit of heat. Tools here that I use to change the heads, or if I need to remove the spacer from the tuning lever, keep that right there. A little gold touch-up paint for plates. And here's the Perma-Grit Files. If you watch my voicing videos, I go over these on that, but highly recommended. I think I got them from Piano Tech Supply. A little metal file for when you're repinning flanges and such. Little pin box. And then some needle nose, side cutters, and some damper felt compressors, reshapers there. Pretty handy. And in here I keep my reamers for repinning. I'll show that to you real quick. It has various different pin sizes. I've been using those again for years. When I bought this, I'm trying to remember where I got this set from, but I did have to cut them down. They were way too long. It wasn't necessary to have them that long. So I modify most of my tools at least a little bit. Screwdrivers, flange screwdriver with combination handle. Of course, that's used about daily. This Phillips head screwdriver that Yamaha gave me at Little Red Schoolhouse. I've had that for well over a decade now. Still working fine. And then we have a lid prop for uprights, a little magnet, and a little guy in here for keeping jacks compressed open so you can get to the screw back there if you need to. Voicing needles, a little down bearing gauge, or at least I wouldn't really say it's a gauge. It's more of just a way to test to make sure you still have some crown to the soundboard. Then some regulation tools, key easing pliers here, and the little heads here for getting in between. I'm sure you're very familiar with all these types of little tools. And spring tool, little ruler with that's metric. Highly recommend using metric system while you're doing regulation. Little caps and adjustment, that sort of thing. So that's what I keep in the front, and I'll show you, give you a closer look at the tuning lever in its bag. Okay, so this is where I keep my tuning lever. It's a Maxpedition. It says hard use gear on it. I think it's actually for a knife. I was in a forum one day and somebody mentioned using this for the tuning lever, and it works really well. So thank you to whoever that was. So I use the Fujin hammer here. It's set up for grand use with the extended adapter on it, but I keep my mutes in here. This has worked really well. Keeps it real nice and safe. and real compact, and all the mutes without them falling all over the inside of the bag. So highly recommended. Okay, the back side of the bag. Here's my iPad that I use with the TuneLab software on it. I use this to hold my invoice books. I found this at Lowe's a few years ago, been using it for quite a while now. My ticket books fit perfectly in there. It also has a good spot to put people's checks they give you and to hold some business cards. And I also have in here a little card swiper when somebody wants to run a card. So that stays nice and neat in there. A few extra pins along with a marker, some Protect lube, keep it back there. And this is the glue that I use most of the time. It's the Titebond Quick and Thick, also known as their molding glue. It's really thick. It doesn't drip really ever. And then I have some little shoe booties and an extra mask sort of thing. I don't keep anything in there. All right, let's go back around at the front. Okay, so what I keep in this bag, a couple more regulation tools, but also mostly repair tools. But I use these enough where I do want to keep them on hand. So a little spare chalk, some extra floss, a couple little miscellaneous pieces and parts of things, little felts to make little adjustments, some toothpicks if I need to fill in a hole, that sort of thing. Drill bit for reaming out the spot for a new hammer shank. Spare hammer shanks. And here we have some felt for, we have to rebush a flange or rebush, you know, key button, that sort of thing, and the key. Have all the tools for that, a little adjustment, little measuring tool so I know exactly how deep it needs to go, that sort of thing. Measuring for key dip, I have this set at 10 millimeters. It's kind of good all around average. This I made for when you're putting in a new hammer shank and you need to put some gouges in the sides of it so you have some glue escapement. So this is for escapement. It has just screwed in enough just to grab it a little bit, but works really, really well. Extra little screwdriver, some Polita steel, getting some rust off the strings. You can see it's been used a few times. And then use this in conjunction with this, of course, to take off hammerheads with a little bit of heat, that sort of thing. So let me put this all back and we'll do a final overview of what I have.